a minute. All right. That's such a... Okay. My kids are home and my dogs are home, and yeah. I'm going to be making a modified ojyma. If you are new to my channel, then you're probably new to the fact that I'm obsessed with Country Cow designs. I feel that they make some of the best patterns out there, and I wanted to give you a sneak peek of what's coming to Alchemats this month. I got permission from Olivia, and oops, I put this on the wrong side. I got permission from Olivia to show you guys a sneak peek, and I'm going to do that. So I put the link to the ojyma. There's no affiliation. The ojyma, I am making a highly modified one. I like to modify patterns. It's just what I like to do. Let's see. Hey. All right, so this is what's going to be coming to Alchemats, the flying key. Look at how, like, I can't look at the blue enamel with the antique hardware. This is gorgeous. And with that, she's also has really pretty zipper pulls. And I'm pairing this with this is the flying key pattern fabric that is from Mormino. This is from her 10th collection. I'm not too sure. That's Loki with Murderbone. I'm not too sure what number Lauren is on now. I'm curious. I should have messaged her beforehand and asked her, but she has to be in the 20s or 30s. I know. You hear Loki. Yeah, so I wanted to make something really special. So I am doing the ojyma pattern from Country Cow, but with a twist. I make this front little pouch, just something I've been modifying and playing around with in the front, and it's a small little zipper thing. I haven't sewed it on yet. And then I'm going to kind of make this look like a mini backpack, but it's not. So I have some 1-inch webbing. I have the keys, and that we're going to start with the front, and then we're going to just start constructing this whole pattern. One of the reasons why I love this pattern so much is it comes together so fast, and even when you modify it, it's great. This is the ojyma is created by Country Cow Design and Bed Hogs. Her name Bed Hog Designs. Amy, they collaborated to make this pattern, and oh my god, literally hands down one of my favorite patterns. So I'm putting double-sided tape where I want this bag to stay. And I'm going to sew this on using a scant 1/4 of an inch. I'll open it up as soon as I sew it down. I think every time I think of HP, I literally think of Alchemats. Somehow, some way, Olivia makes Harry Potter even more magical. I don't know how she does it in her whimsical mind, but she does. And I am excited about these keys. The moment I seen it, I knew what I wanted to use with it. And I've been like hoarding this fabric like a fire drake. And I'm using a really beat up awl to get close to the needle and feed in the fabric. If you're new to sewing, I highly recommend you not pushing the fabric through. Doing that, you're going to make the feed dogs not do what they're supposed to do and evenly stitch this out. Just let it naturally happen. I'm using some double-sided tape from Wawak. We all know how I love that, and I'm using, it's 1/8 of an inch. So this normally has like a really cool like flap with a pocket. I just like to do this little design. I noticed that it's a good seller for me. It puts like a spin on a bag that looks a little bit different. I get a lot of questions about this bag when they see it in person, because it's pretty cool. Like, we now have a cute little pocket and some string I need to cut. I promise you, I'm always forgetting to cut tails. And it just looks really cute. Now this next idea I got actually from Noodlehead in their Making It bag. I love how she has the handles. So what I have right here is a slightly different. I have an 18-inch piece of webbing that I got from Indo Love Creations. It kind of is textured a little bit different. Here, let me put you guys up. It's textured a little bit different, and I like the way it's textured. Yes, it definitely is a unisex bag. I really would love to see, Joe made this bag with Amy, right? But I would love to see what Adam would do with it, because he uses a lot of wax canvas and a lot of leathers, and he uses this fabricator, and I'm so curious to see what he would do with this backpack, like do with his bag. Like, I don't know. That would just be like a personal thing that, because I just love what he creates too. They're both just so creative, and I love the husband and wife team. So what I'm going to do, what I did is I always mark my center with this white chalk pencil. This is from Clover 2, I think. And you can wipe it off with the brush. And I usually pick the white because the blue, green, all of them, they like to stain except the white. So I want this key to be centered right in the middle. So I like to put my my little webbings 3 inches down, or 3.5 inches down. So I made a center mark where I will want this key to be. So I think the key will look really cool right there. So I'm gonna bang the hell out of it real quickly. Sorry, Olivia. When they are shipped overseas, sometimes the salt from the water gets into each one of these crevices, and it can make the screw hard to come out, and you can strip it real easily. So I now just like do a little hit on the back, and all the screws come out easily without stripping it. And I'm not like, okay, I need to get more screws, which that's not a problem. Alice, she is, I believe, a moderator also in Alchemats. She came to our rescue and told us where we can get extra screws at Amazon, so that way if we do lose a screw, we're not like SOL, you know. So I'm going to take the back of this and I'm going to place it where I want it. So I think right here will be perfect. And I'm going to get a pen and do some markings. I know he did. Karen, I gotta go look because I love Adam's creations. Like, I think he is super creative. The Keyed Moth is one of my other favorite bags, and it sells really well for me. People just love the way that sits, and people love it in leather. I should have picked a different color pen on black, but I'm just gonna put some marks here, and then I'm gonna get my hole puncher. Now, I am doing this on cotton, so I'm going to put some beacon glue in around the hole so that way it doesn't shred. And I normally make the holes bigger, but with cotton, there's a little bit of stretch. And I want to prevent fraying as much as possible. I promise you, I use so much of this glue that I always forget that it clogs up relatively fast. I could probably, if there was some kind of weird challenge where you had to do like a smell test, I could probably tell you different glues based off of how they smell. I know that sounds weird. I know it's weird, but I like the smell of like double-sided tape. I've already told you I'm kind of an oddball. So we're going to take this beautiful, look at, oh God, seriously, look at how beautiful that is. Like the details in the wings, like, ugh. I don't know how she does what she does. She makes things so magical. So I'm just going to press the hole around where the screw is. And I'll use my awl if I need to stretch out a little anything. And last but not least, this hole, which I'm probably going to have to do from the front. Hold on, I'm going to have to punch that hole again. I'm just putting a little beacon around the holes. And just stretching this out. Sometimes it takes a little patience. Sometimes you do have to go back in and make the hole a little bit bigger. I notice with cotton you don't have to. I try not to. I do make the holes bigger with vinyl or water resistant canvas or proof canvas. It's a little bit more forgiving with cotton. But my hole puncher is not doing the business of punching holes right. Goodness gracious. I should have put this on before I put on my there we go. And I put Decaville Light on the back because I didn't want to do, I wanted a little bit more firmer where it felt like water resistant canvas versus, versus cotton. But like, Mormino's cotton is, regular cotton is almost like kind of like an in-between of a canvas and regular cotton. It's pretty thick. And I'm putting the screws in lightly, not screwing them all the way in until I put all 4 in. Okay, now we're going to tighten them. Now some people put Loctite glue in the back of them. I don't know why. I've never had a screw come loose, but I know some people, you know, swear by it. And there we go. We have a really cute, like, focal point. Yeah, it looks like stained glass. I agree with you. So 18 inches, and then I draw a 2-inch mark on each back of one, fold them over, and then I'm going to draw a 1-inch mark, actually a 1.5-inch mark, where I'm going to draw that, so the X. Okay, and I'm going to get some double-sided tape. Oh my god, my hands are so shaky because I had like 3 shots of like espresso today, and I'm like, woo! I'm like sleepy but not sleepy. My Patreon, we did do the ojyma, but we turned it into where it could be a backpack as well, and it had like some cool back zipper features and whatnot. But like, I promise you, this is like the one pattern that I can constantly keep changing, and every single time I'm always like enthralled with it. So I'm going to do a box and then an X. You could put a rivet through it, but because this bag is so tiny, there's not very much they can put in unless they have like straight up rocks in here. I don't think anything's gonna make it come unloose. They're like, yeah, I carry rocks every day. It's normal. So yeah, the Making It bag has always had these cool handles from Noodlehead, and so whenever I make like this kind of style bag, I kind of adopted that style because I just love the way it looks. It looks very clean, very professional, and it's just something that I like. It's like my preference now. If I would have done a 1-inch box, there will be a slight possibility that you can still see the raw edges that we're trying to enclose. So that's why I did 1.5 inches, and we just did like an X mark, a box and an X. Thank you. I always think my laugh is goofy. Thank you. That actually made my day completely. All right. I get amused by the most littlest things. So I've never actually used, I know you guys don't make fun of me. Don't make fun. I've never used that feature where you call in the car, your car calls somebody. So I called my husband for the first time like today, and he's like, you're such a goofball. Like, cause I'm like literally giddy. Like, I'm like, this is like the Jetsons wave of the future. And he's like, oh my gosh. So this is going to be the front of the bag, and let's start making the back panel. He's like, you're such a goofball. And see, I did the same thing. I have the chalk marks for the center. I have the 3.5 inch I went down and 1.5 inches in, and I'm going to put the straps towards the inside of the line and not the outside, because I like it a little closer together so people could put it on their wrist. And just make sure when you do this that you really like pull up your thing and it's not all twisted. I know it sounds like simple, but you could if I ever do a Q&A with Kindle could tell you I've had straps twisted and it's like the bane of my existence. I'm like, I cannot believe I did that. So just a once over can save you. So we're going to do box on this. I love this fabric. I hope one day Lauren reruns this one because it is just so elegant. It's so it's just so pretty. It's not what you would see. And then as soon as I seen Olivia's stained glass keys, I'm like, holy moly, man. Did you guys work together? What's going on? Like I said, I would like to be in her brain because she comes up with some really creative stuff. And I like this colorway because it's like black with navy and like stainless colors, that it's not just one house. So if you're in the market of selling and you're selling in person, I have got where people wanted the bag really bad, but they wanted it in Slytherin, or they wanted it in, you know, like Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, or whatever, right? And you can promise that you can do it in another color, but if you don't have that colorway, or if it's a specialty print that you purchased like a year ago, you can miss out on a sale if you don't have like all the house colors. So I have a tendency of now going to buy HP fabric that is neutral, like it's in purple or beige or in black, because I then won't have this where the person's like, I want this, but it's in Ravenclaw's colors and I'm, you know, Gryffindor or something. So if you have something neutral, it's a little bit easier to sell, especially also for people who are buying gifts for people and don't know what the other person's house really is. And that's why I think I like the house keys, because the antique with the blue, like that pearl blue, it's not Ravenclaw, it's just a beautiful like, you know, glass piece of fabric, and you just are enamored with it. All right, so I am getting the pocket, slip pocket that we're going to make. And this. All right, so I was going to do one that was matching, but this had so many cool colors in here. I wanted to use Heartwood and Hide. They have this watermelon one. I was going to say flavor. I don't know what's wrong. I'm sleepy. Bear with me. I'm sleepy. It's like a watermelon color, and I've been wanting to use it on something, and I'm using it on this bad boy. So I'm going to take some double-sided tape and I'm going to put it right here to match. But I want to center my pocket first because I am notorious for putting my label on and then like the pocket will cover it. You're like, great. Awesome. I got this water resistant canvas for Indolove and it's like a lighter weight than I'm used to, but I am absolutely loving it. It is the best for binding. I bought it just on a whim because I needed some of their blue suede because they have some of the prettiest suede colors, faux suede. And I seen that she had this, and it's just, I got it in, I always go to my go-to navy, black, and I got it in this baby blue color, and I'm actually really, really loving it. See, the pocket's going to fit up here, so I'm glad I did not put it there. We're going to just move you for a second. And what I'm going to do, so I'm not putting in the pattern, they have this as a magnet to help like not use a lot of hardware. What I like to do is I'll sew in up to 1 inch on both sides, and it doesn't make the pocket gape open, and you can still put stuff in there. You could do a 1/2 inch, but it's like 3/8 of an inch, so it's really your call. So I'm gonna go down and then basting. The backpack one sells really well. Like I sold another Deadpool one. I want to make a Wolverine and Deadpool bag so bad before the movie comes out. But finding the perfect yellow for Wolverine has been like the bane of my existence. I cannot find, every yellow I found has like some kind of transfer on it. So like I'll get it, and what I'll do is I'll put like a pin or I'll put like another piece of fabric on top of it and leave it for a day. If you have vinyl that is a very sensitive color, I know this is going to sound really weird, but I don't hear people talk about it. Put another piece of darker fabric on there, and if it transfers, it's going to be a permanent stain. There's some vinyls that are like that, and I don't know why, but I do notice with yellows, there's always like a weird transfer. And see, across and then up, and it's just like a bar tack. You can still stick stuff in here, but it's just, it will help it not like gape open. And I'm going to put now my tag right here, maybe center it a little better. There we go. If you haven't got Heartwood and Hide tags, there is a small waiting list. It's not that long, but Jade, I swear, I don't know how they make these tags so beautiful. They're perfect. They're perfect to wait for. And if it's not in your price point, you can always join the waiting list, and then if they call your name, then you can figure it out from there. But you also can think about maybe getting like cloth like tags that you can get sometimes on Etsy, where like you can get 50 for like 50 for like $25 or something, and they can help you create a logo or whatever. I think putting your signature or something on here is important, because in quilts, a lot of the quilts that we have in history have like signatures of people or stitch things, and you never know where your bag's going to end up 25 years from now. So just something to think of. Let's get our lining. I'm going to, I do my pockets just a little bit different. I'm measuring down 1 inch on both short ends. And I'm going to put some double-sided tape. You can use glue, beacon glue if you want as well. Sometimes I do that. I've already have the glue bottle out. It doesn't gum up my needle as much as double-sided tape. I'm going to fold this down on itself so it's at it has like a 1/2 inch lip. So the pattern piece that calls for the zipper pocket and the slip pocket, I just cut it on a fold versus cutting it separate. And then three-eighths of an inch down both sides. Hey, Cynthia. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, Alchemats is going to be opening, not this week, but I think the following week, if I'm not mistaken. I'm using my pinking shears and I'm going at an angle at both ends. I would normally use my regular ones, but whenever I work with cotton, me and pinking shears are one. Just one of a kind. Just right there. Best friends, BFFs for life. Then I'm going to get a tool to poke out these corners gently. And then I'm going to top stitch the top of the pocket. All right, and then I'm going to measure 1 inch up from the bottom. And then center it. Stick a pin in it. And then the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to go up. I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to go into where we have the top stitching line, and I'm going to go in probably like just only a ½ inch, not or 3/8 of an inch, and then go back out, down, across, up into that, and back in. It's called a bar tack. They do it in a lot of cuffs and whatnot. It will help. You could put your cell phone in and out of there, but you won't need rivets. So if you're doing this for a show and you're trying to be cost efficient and not do rivets, this is one way you can do it. I love the way rivets look, but sometimes it could be, if someone is really rough on it, it could pull them out. It can do so many different things. So I'm going in about a ½ inch back stitching. I'm going to go back stitch 1 stitch off onto the lining and then go down. And I need to get my awl because I didn't poke out this corner good enough. And I'm right here, so I'm going to poke it out just a little bit better. No one's going to even see it because it's going to be at the bottom of the bag, but still. I always feel better when I feel 100% about a bag when I'm selling it. Like if I'm feeling 100% confident when I'm selling that bad boy, I could sell water to the sky. I don't know. But if I feel like there's like a stitch out of place or something I know I could have correct is not right, I won't have confidence. And I think when it comes down to selling, confidence is key because a person is trusting you that this product that they're paying money for is worth it. So like people are like, oh, you're not Louis Vuitton, you're not Dooney and Burke. You're right, because these people have well-established names. They have warranties. They have all these different things. So when you're establishing these new customers, you need to be able to sell your product, explain your product, feel confident about your product. And I cannot say this enough, offer a warranty. I always offer a warranty. Like I will fix something in your bag up to 90 days or 6 months, depending on if it's leather, vinyl, or whatever. Also test out your product. I always buy 1/4 of a yard more or something to see if the vinyl, if it rubs against the wood or makes a mark, is this mark permanent? Tell them how they can clean their bags. Do all these things and you will have a customer for life. My favorite thing is when I go to these conventions are repeat customers coming to find me, looking for my booth to buy something from me. There's nothing that feels better than that when you own your own business. When someone comes to you and they're like, yes, Genova, I've been waiting all year to buy another bag, because they feel confident because you feel confident. So you got this. If you're making bags, you're doing something that most of the population cannot do. And see how, like, right there, if you look on this lining, you can see this is where I have it in. So you can slip in and out. The pocket's still secure. All right, so we're going to have this in the front of our pocket, on the front side. So we're going to take our front and our back, and we're going to place foam and make sure that we have this going the right direction. I have accidentally sewn this pocket in the wrong way. Trust and believe. And I'm going to clip around, and we're going to baste this together. So we're going to baste that 1/8 of an inch. And just move these out, your handles out of the way. Okay. We have one down. We have our pocket. We have our center marks right here so that we know where the bag needs to go. Let's make our zipper pocket. So we need I'm going to use 2 of these for our closure in the front. And let's see. One for this zipper here. I'm going to singe the ends. And get some zipper tape. I mean some double-sided tape. I'm putting double-sided tape. You can use 1/8, 1/4, whatever you have available on the front. And the back. Because we're binding this bag, we don't have to have an opening. So all right. All right. I'm cinching the little fuzzies off the vinyl. I'm finding my center. Double-sided tape. I'm going 2 inches down from the top. It's weirdly quiet upstairs. I have a 12 and 13-year-old and they usually are at each other's throats. Soon to be 14 in case he's watching. I'm going to backstitch. I like the look of pulling the threads to the back, but I feel like in bags this small. This is a really small zipper. So I want to make sure when they're tugging it and everything that it's just nice and secure. Okay. Put your zipper pull to the left, to the right, whatever floats your boat. Some people like having it close to the right. Some people like close to the left. There's no wrong or right answer. It's just whatever you feel more happier about. Get it as centered as possible. Pull back the double-sided tape on the bottom part of the zipper. And then we're going to grab where this is like the right side and this is the wrong side of the thing. So you want the right side to be facing down towards the bottom. Press it. So if it's directional, this is how it's going to go. It's going to fold this way. So you want the direction to go this way. So you want it to go the opposite way. We're going to make sure this is really sticking on good. And we're going to stitch from here to here. And I'm going to back stitch at the beginning and at the end, 2 to 3 stitches. Then I'm going to grab some more double-sided tape, and you're probably like, Shanova, how much double-sided tape do you go through? A lot. I think Waywack knows my order by now. And I'm just going to put the double-sided tape within the stitch area that we have here to here. And then I'm going to take this and fold it and give it a nice finger press, and that way this permanent tape can help it permanently stay there without it, you know, like bubbling up or trying to get into the zipper. Take off the top part. And we're going to go up, across, and down. Back stitching before and after, and I'm going to back stitch over the zipper teeth so it could be a zipper stop. Melting those threads, and then peeling this back and doing 3/8 of an inch, and again back stitching over the zipper teeth. Okay, and then we have like a really clean pocket. So now we're gonna, this is gonna be in the back. I'm gonna grab foam. And then I'm going to center this. All right, and we're going to base this in place using 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so we have the front and the back, and now let's start making the gusset. So we're going to get our lining piece, and our exteriors. Get 1/8 of an inch double-sided tape and put it on the lining. And I'm putting it on the right side. I'm going to get our zipper tape, and I'm going to have it like a 1/2 inch to an inch hanging off at either end, at both ends, I mean. I do this so when we turn the bag, the zippers don't accidentally come off the track. I've had that happen several times, actually, unfortunately. Let's see. And then I'm going to put our exterior, and we're going to sew this together using a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. It's scary. I think I sew this bag so much that I don't even look at the directions anymore. I know when the pattern's about to change seam allowance. Let's see, I should have clipped that. See, I'm just going to use my scissors to remove a couple stitches. There we go. And hold everything better together, raw edges together. If your vinyl is not stabilized, like this is not stabilized because you put the foam in after, it might stretch a little bit. Just make sure that you trim it to where the lining fabric is. It happens. Some vinyls are just a little bit stretchier, and this one that I got is from New York, and it's like PETA approved, but it stretches a lot. So I'm going to put the foam stabilizer in, and then make sure raw edges are touching, and I'm going to base them together. I like this pattern because it is unbelievably domestic machine friendly, because you never actually sew on the foam. Like, not once. But if you're using by Annie foam, you could sew on that like a million times on a domestic machine. By Annie created it for a domestic machine. It compresses more and more every time you use it. So now I'm going to top stitch 1/8 of an inch. I do this so that way that the lining doesn't accidentally get tucked in, and it makes it harder for the zipper to close and open. There's Loki. It was funny because the other day he was snoring, but he was like snoring inside the vent. And so it was like echoing in here, and I could not stop laughing. I could not. It was just like, only my dog would do that. So I matched everything up with the lining on the back. Finger pressing it. And then we're going to do this again, 1/4 of an inch. And this, again, stretched about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm just going to trim it even. Get the foam. And I'm trying to get to the foam where the part is like, I put it on the vinyl, because sometimes if the grip on the back of the vinyl is good enough, then you don't have to like move it around a lot. It'll just stay. Trim our threads, and then we're going to top stitch, put the zippers on, and then put our D-rings on. And I just slide them on, and then I look to make sure the zipper teeth are inside the zipper teeth are even where the middle bar is, and then I just push down. All right. So I'm going to get 4 inches of webbing, and then I'm going to divide that in 2. And this is going to sound weird, but I like to have this where it kind of feels like it caramelized. Like if you ever did a creme brulee and you're like using your little baby flamethrower, it's like a crust that you kind of want over on it so that way it doesn't fray. And I'm going to put this on and baste this part down. But when I get onto the zipper teeth, I am going to back stitch several times. Again, I had that one incident, and that was enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm always going to back stitch over zipper teeth. It was actually my Erica Bowler, so and then I think Country Cow came out with, I'm trying to think of I think it was the low-end pattern, and I was watching her video, and she mentioned that she has longer zipper tape too, and I was like, okay, it's not just me. It's not just me. So we're going to put our bottom gusset on, and I'm going to put this on, I'm going to sew it on 1/4 of an inch first. And again, back stitch over those zipper teeth. And then we're going to flip it. We're going to put the lining on. We're going to do it at 3/8 of an inch. And just make sure your harbor is out of the way. And what I like to do is I just kind of trim the sides to help alleviate bulk, and it just flies everywhere. That's how I roll. And we're going to I'm going to top stitch it. I'm going to top stitch it after. One-fourth of an inch. Three-eighths. Okay. I'm going to put the foam in and then top stitch. trying to center the foam so it's right underneath the seam allowance. I'm trying to make sure that foam is even throughout. Okay. And then we're just going to close up the bottom using a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. And I try to keep everything aligned. I usually put the vinyl on the bottom because the water resistant canvas is going to have no stretch, so it's going to keep the vinyl in line. Okay, and we're going to do this on the other side real quick. Just trying to make sure the foam stays in there nice and flat. Okay, now we're going to make some markings. We're going to find our centers and move a lot of stuff off the table. You could staple if you wish. I know a lot of people like doing it. I still freak out over it. Like when I do it, when I'm testing patterns, I'm like, I'm only doing this because the pattern says so. Ooh. There we go. Huh. Sorry, I see that the vinyl got kind of crinkly around this area. Let me just fix that. And then I'll check my centers again, but they should be good. And my bobbin just ran out. Perfect time. Okay. All right, I'm going to, I have my centers here. I need to just find the side centers. Stick these little webbings there. And we're going to start clipping. And then I'm just going to do some snips about 1/4 of an inch apart from each other around the corners of the top. And just stretching those clips, those will be clipped out so they can spread out. All right. Okay, and then we're gonna base this on using, you can use 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch, whatever you like. I use my stiletto around corners. Remember, you can have wrinkles above but not below, or they'll show. Okay. We're going to trim off the excess, and we're going to grab some webbing, not webbing, some water resistant canvas, and I'm going to fold half of it on the wrong side. So here's the right side. I'm going to fold half in on the top, and I'm going to put I always start my binding on the top, because when you open up a bag, no one looks at the top of the bag, they look only in the bottom. So we're going to start here, and I'm going to do this at a scant 3/8 of an inch. So not quite 3/8 of an inch, in between your 1/4 of an inch and 3/8 of an inch line. When I get around the corner, I'm going to mold this as best as I can. You can clip it a little bit if it's being kind of a jerk. Because we all know some waterproof canvases, some water resistance, a little bit more pliable than others. And then I'm just going to sew where that we fold over a 1/2 inch. I'm going to sew to that point and back stitch. Okay, so I'm going to trim this little excess off, put it to the side, and then I'm going to grab some double-sided tape. And I'm going to put it on that 1/2 inch mark one that we had, and kind of fold the tape over just a tiny bit to the inside of it. I'll show you. So I folded this here. Here's the 1/2 inch, and I folded it over a bit. And the reason why I do that is that way this side can stick to its side too, so it can kind of act like one piece. Then I'm just going to turn this over and flip it, and then adjust if I need to. Fold this in half and fold it over onto the last previous stitches, but I need to cut those threads. We're trying to cover up the previous row of stitching. And we're just going to go around doing that real quick, or slow. There's no race. Just keep folding. Hey, Jada. Hey, Julie. I'm glad she cut alive too. Make sure you backstitch well. And again, a stiletto or an out on all can help tremendously so you don't get your fingers squished. Ask me how I know about that. I've been to the doctor so many times. I gotta tell you, I'm like in love. I don't know. I think all my paychecks are gonna go towards these zipper pulls and magnets. They're so pretty. I don't think my camera is even doing justice to what they actually look like in person. I actually like, I prefer binding with water resistant canvas versus waterproof canvas. It's a little bit more flexible and it goes around the edges nice, just nicer in my opinion. And it's lighter, so it's easier to, you can have multiple layers and it's not as heavy. And just, I'm going to singe ever so lightly those, let's see, nice, clean, crisp binding. Now, let's start this side. I'm going to open up the zipper pocket on here and stick this little webbing in. But look how pretty the key is. It is so beautiful. And I'm just matching up marks. I like to use the skinnier clips on the curves. I feel like they hold on better, but it could just be in my imagination. And there goes those small skinny clips. They were like, oh, you thought we worked better? I'll show you. Okay, and then we're going to clip into our curves. Okay. All right, we're going to sew this on with 1/8 of an inch or 1/4, whatever is your fancy. And this is why we look at things, because this did not catch at all. There we go. Clip the center. Okay, I'm gonna re-sew this part because it did not catch. And that happens. That's why we examine our work, right? Right. And where is my... I promise you I cut out two. I know I cut out two. Hold on for just a moment because I might have to cut out another one. I could have sworn I cut out two. That always happens to me. It's okay. I cut mine out 1 3/4 of an inch. Sometimes 2 inches of the material is really bulky, but we use canvas, so it's not really bulky. Let's see, hopefully this is big enough. I swear I cut out two. Yeah. Watch the other one just appear out of nowhere when I'm done. So again, I'm going to take the right side and I'm going to fold it over to the wrong side about a half of an inch. And then put this on the top, and we're going to sew at a scant 3/8 of an inch. And I'm just moving the bag away so it doesn't catch onto like the foam or anything else. Hi. Oh. I don't think I have a Zoom meeting. Oh yeah, we do. We're going to be going over our Patreon bag. I'm really excited to do it. We're doing the Austin bag from Stitchcraft. I have never made this bag before, so I'm like looking at the pattern. I'm trying to get my feel for it, and we have our discussion about it tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. because we could do applique, we could do sublimation, so much more. So much that we could do with that bag. All right. I have like thread. I am like nesting threads over here. So we grab some water, I was going to say water resistant canvas, but obviously this is double-sided tape. I'm going to put it on that 1/2 inch piece and then fold it over a tad. That's what I was waiting for. The dogs. Now it feels like my house. Oh, eerie silence freaks me out. Now let's see if the oldest one even goes to the door. It's usually the youngest one, like, Mom, the mailman, this guy is here, or Amazon's here. But see how it acts like one piece? So I love that. So now I'm going to fold this over on itself and then cover up the previous row of stitching. Clip it. I'm telling you, once you make one ojyma, you're going to be like addicted. I don't know what this pattern is like. I don't know. It comes together nicely. It looks really cool at the end. And it's not like a whole lot of material. Because I know some people calculate the cost of their bags off material. So I feel like this would be a really good bag for those people that do that. But then also I think it's a good bag if you're doing it in like line mode, where you're trying to get out as many as you can for an upcoming event. All right, so because I'm on my flatbed, I'm going to feed this into the machine, and I'm just going to be really cognizant to make sure, like, one, zip up the key so it's in the middle, and then also this doesn't get caught up in some other part, because I'm notorious for that as well. So just moving things out of the way, especially when you go around the curves, that could be a little bit of a trickier part. I'm telling you, like, for this bag or any bag with binding, a stiletto is like my #1 secret. I know some people do double-sided tape, glue. Me, it's the stiletto. It's because it can hold it closer to the needle than my finger. And maybe because I have broken my finger tip more than I would like to admit, I'm a little bit more cautious about that. My husband may beg to differ, because I think I've sewn my finger live like several times. I'm not oddly afraid of the machine. It's kind of weird. More than anything, it makes me mad because it always happens when I grow out my natural nails, and then there'll be like a hole like in the center, and you're just like, damn. Like, kind of, I don't know if anyone else is like this, like all your natural nails will be one length, and then all of a sudden the nail breaks off, and you're like, do I cut them all to be even, or is it okay that the pinky is shorter than the rest? Like, I don't know if this is just some Shinova problem, and it's part of my ADHD. I don't know, but it gets serious contemplation if I break a nail. Same if I accidentally sew a finger. Hollow Creation, don't you have a new pattern that's out that's like a messenger bag? I think I don't want to like speak. I think I seen it on my feed and I was like, is this new? So I'm gonna open this up and see it's all it's all nice and binded. So okay, it's not just a me thing. Okay, okay, my nails. If they're at different lengths, I'll look at them like grow, be the same length. Okay, it's not a me thing. I'm happy it's not a me thing because seriously, it's a problem. It's if it's not working out, then I will get frustrated. Okay, so one of my tricks I do with binding, because your binding actually wants to curve. See the pliers, they have plastic on it. I'll sit there and I'll just take my time, go over, and it's getting ironed. So it's not gonna because there's no teeth, it doesn't affect the vinyl. Oops, I said that before it slipped off. And it just kind of presses it. And I also like to shake out the seams. And see, like, you can see how, like, that's not curving in and this is curving in. So just take your time. It flattens out bulky areas too. I used to do these with needle nose pliers, but it would leave a mark. So like when I started testing for Toby styles, she has a lot of chains and she suggested pliers that had like some kind of protection on it. And I was like, okay, so one day I started using it for like the binding thing, and it works out. It's like I'm pressing it, but I'm not. And it just helps compress the bulk so that way it doesn't roll in on itself. And then I'm going to zip up these pretty little zippers. Aren't they? Look at how pretty they are. And then zip these up. And then I'm going to make my strap real quick. So I usually make my straps about 60 inches. Because it depends. You might have someone that is a little bit more voluminous like myself, or big chested or whatever. I like milk these until it gets like nice and crusty, and then I kind of press it down so it like caramelize. I know it sounds weird, but see how it's all fuzzy? And if now it's not. And then I don't know if people talk about this. So that's just the top. So what I do is sometimes I go on to the sides so that way it doesn't fray coming from the sides either. It holds a laptop? Oh, crap. I might have to look into that. Because, you know, that is everyone's big first thing when they see a messenger bag. Can it hold a laptop? You're like, what is she doing? So those edges, that the leftover strap of the binding that we did, I'm going to fold this over. And just make a cap. See, no scrap goes unused. One, it looks coordinated with the fabric. Two, you're securing those ends from not fraying. Again, if you're going to sell, you want to be able to, like, yeah, this is going to last. So this is something I noticed. I usually use my cork scraps for it, but I actually had no blue cork scraps, which I was or black, which I was really kind of disappointed in. And then you can kind of melt the sides and pinch them together. Be careful of the fumes that you're inhaling, so do it in an open area. I didn't hold my towels. What is it called? What is the name of your bag called? The messenger one? Because I know people, so they know if they go to your website, they know which one to look for. Because I know I've seen it, and then I think if I'm not mistaken, what I seen was like it had like there was like an option to have bat wings, and I was like, oh my god, this would be so cool to make a Morticia Adam bag, or I had like a couple different ideas because Beetlejuice is around the corner. I just thought like some Beetlejuice, the fairy that is in the original Beetlejuice when they come to the recently deceased thing and she's like talking to them. I was like, what if you could make it with like fairy wings? Want to make sure that everything is laying the right way. I want to get a little bit closer to the hardware. Without breaking the needle. That's perfect. And we have our strap for a really cute bag. This bag is super cute. And I'm loving this. I gotta wipe off the chalk. So I'll be here for the next 20 minutes doing this. It does come off. It just takes a little bit of willpower. But I would be lost if I didn't have my chalk marks. But does anyone have any questions? Other than when is the hardware coming out? Because Olivia probably is posting something as we speak, a reference to it. So yeah, this is not the only cool thing. She has, in this collection, there is some epic Star Wars stuff, some epic, there's a print for Avatar that my daughter, I'm actually going to be making her a camp shirt because she went crazy for it because of the color scheme alone. And it's hard because getting Hope to like something is like pulling teeth. So yeah, this is it. The sanctuary tote. I like that. Okay, so, and the messenger bag is called the back. Okay, I'm telling you, if you guys go on to Hollowback Creations website and look at it, then go, if you're old enough to remember the first Beetlejuice, remember the fairy that they meet, and there she's talking, she's green. Just imagine making it into that. Like if you could find like an iridescent wing, like I totally could see a cool Beetlejuice thing happening. And as soon as I seen it, I think I wrote Beetlejuice across it and put it in my folder. So I was like, ooh, Beetlejuice. So that is it, my friends. If you guys have any questions or anything, just put a comment down below. We make sure to answer it. If you want to know more about the ojyma, I put the link to inside the description. It's not an affiliate, and I put a link to Alchemats Facebook group, so that way you could join and you can know when all the hardware is coming. So I will talk to y'all tomorrow, and I hope everyone has a really good day. Bye.